Hi, I'm Khadija Masoro. I'm known to my friends and family as Jaja, and my first name is Arabic, I guess, or Quraysh. Couldn't really tell the difference for the life of me, so I just say to everybody else that it's Arabic. And it's the name of the wife and the first believer, the first person to have accepted Islam, the wife of the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Peace and blessings be upon him. And I am not sure. Got a text message just now, so I'm not sure if I said it already. I'm 27 years old, and today I just wanted to share with everyone, or to advertise my father's book, or his magnum opus, which is here with me. It's the power of one. Sorry, it's a power of one principle. It's a power of one principle, and I have seen my father worked on it for much of his life, long before, I guess, long before I even learned how to read and write. And I learned how to read and write when I was 3 years old. I was fairly young when I learned how to speak in English. That's how I turned out this way. My mother, Jacqueline Khadija, yes, her name is also Khadija, second name that is a former school owner, and she was practically very nice enough to encourage me to learn English at a young age. Now going back to my father's work, how that how those two things relate. I was 3 years old. I was reading my father's medical books because my father was meant to be a surgeon. Yes, you can ask a lot of places, like the schools where he went to, because he went to different schools for his pre med. He went to Ateneo de Manila for his postgraduate studies, which is an MHA, a Master in Hospital Administration. So we have MBA, which is a Master's for Business Administration. However, my father, knowing him, he often told me and everybody else that he had this amazing dream when I was born. And in Islam, if you know some things about Islam, a few things even, dreams hold a very powerful, a very significant place in the universe as we know it. Like in the story, or in the surah, or the chapter of Prophet Yusuf, which is also evident in the Holy Bible to Christians and even to some Muslim scholars. I am the kind of person that my father had always been telling everyone that when I was born, he had a vision, he had a dream that he was forgiven for his sins. And that is a huge, huge, huge thing in Islam. You know what I mean? So he wrote a book and he dedicated it to me and to my siblings. And he called it The Power of One Principle. Um, Now, going back to the story of the Prophet Yusuf, the Prophet Yusuf had a dream that the stars, the moon, everything else in the heavenly bodies prostrated before him. And he had also the power to interpret dreams. You know what I mean? And in the book The Alchemist, the recurring dream of Santiago, that is the very concept that touched thousands, if not actually, it touched millions of lives. Because Paulo Coelho is the is the only living, is a Guinness Book World Hold Record, Guinness Book record holder of the most translated book by any living book author. I keep on getting text messages. Anyway, so I wanted to advertise my books, my father's book, sorry. I wanted to share my father's book. I'm very excited about it. I've seen my father change a lot of people's lives through his works, and I do love my father so much. I hope that you can really check it out. Just recently, my father has been very busy helping out my mom, supporting her with her different businesses. And you know what? I love my father so much. He is a good man, and beyond this book, beyond everything that he has taught me, I was actually supposed to say in the beginning of the video that my father has trained me in economics and everything, almost everything that I know about economics, geopolitics, and finance. There's a difference between economics and finance, and he taught me everything. And I'm also a book author like my father. You know what I mean? My sister, my late sister Christine, or Tintin as we fondly called her, she also wanted to be a book author like me. However, before she published her first work, she sadly passed away already. However, I like to think that somewhere in heaven, she just wants the same stuff that I keep on getting to this day, if you get what I mean. My father, he was diagnosed with cancer, but he was able to kick cancer. You know, that's the kind of stuff that you only see in movies. You know what I mean? He loved my mom so much, and he loved me so much that he did his best to turn his life around, and for that I'm so proud of him, and I'm so proud to call him my father. Now, on this book, The Power of One Principle, it's a book that touches on geopolitics, economics, but I couldn't help but be reminded of Mahatma Gandhi. And if you know something about Mahatma Gandhi, in case you don't, just think about one former president that I'm not going to name because I don't want to name presidents right now. He inspired a peaceful revolution in the Philippines. And Mahatma Gandhi inspired peaceful revolutions throughout history. I love my father, and I'm holding his book right now. Not to advertise for purposes of having book sales, but I just want to capture this moment. I read a quote that says, "One day we're just going to be memories to the different people that we encounter in our lives. It could be our loved ones, it could be our friends, it could be whoever, whatever, you know." And hundreds of years from now, the problems that we have aren't even going to be problems because we're going to be buried 6 feet under. And for me, just to capture this moment that I'm just saying, "I love you, Dad," which is something that I always say to him day and night. When I get up in the morning, I say to my father, "I love you, Dad." And I say to my mom, "I love you, Ma." And maybe 10 times, even more than I say to my father. And, and I say to my father, "I love you, Dad," before we go to sleep. For me, just being able to share that with everyone, that is a gift in itself. A lot of people have this misconception. For me, as someone who studied comparative religion for a long time, I read this beautiful quote by Christian. She said in World Vision Philippines newsletter, she said that God didn't need me to fulfill his plans for everyone, but he invited me to become a part of it. And I love that. I do. And as far as I can remember, I've been the kind of person to go to masjids and I don't ask for nothing fancy. What I just do, I surrender, I give up everything to God, and I just say, "You know what?" I just say that I love my relatives, I love my family, I love my parents, I love my siblings, I love my nieces and my nephews, I love my cats, and I just say this prayer, this moment that I have with you, I wish this could last forever, and I just pray to God that this prayer is a reward in itself. I'm not gonna ask for nothing fancy because you've already given me so much already. And you know what? Going back to my father's book, hope you don't mind. Everything that I have learned in my life, it's because of my father. I remember there were moments in my life that the only thing that kept me going was his memory of my father. He's not yet in heaven, but he's with us here, you know. Anyway, going back, I remember he was always smiling with me. He would often walk me somewhere, just in front of her house actually. And one time, there's just so many one times, but going back, he would often walk me, and he had this happiest look in his face, for just seeing me in that kind of stuff. So everything that I am, I owe to my parents. I love them. I may not be like someone who conforms to everybody's, like standard for, just, I'm not a people pleaser in the first place, but at least I'm a real person. I may not be perfect, but at least I'm a real person. Now, if you take anything away from this, going back to the book of my father, it's a very promising book. If you think I'm a promising person, just wait until you read the book. Because even though it talks about geopolitics, economics, just like what Mahatma Gandhi says, and just like what my father says, it's not about creating more wars in this world. It's not about even having this economical framework or this geopolitical framework. The most important war that you can fight or you can have, whatever you call it in this day and age, is a war that you have with yourself. You have to win that every day. You win that every day. You be the best person that you are. That's what Mahatma Gandhi says, and that's what my father says. And you do your best to be the best person for yourself and your family. And life is short. I hope that you make it. I hope that you be very happy. That's what my father always says. So my father's name is Eddie Ambalong Masorong. On this book, it's only Eddie Masorong. But anyway, we're gonna have it printed. A lot of copies, 1,000 copies. If you want to reserve a copy, whatever, recommend someone to buy a copy. My father's sold quite a few of this, not to brag. However, if you want to reserve a copy, get your heart touch, flourish in everything that you do, be a star, whatever. Just keep in touch with my dad or my mom. You know what I mean? Thank you so much, you know what? But you know what? Books are a gift. It's a privilege to be able to read. The secret to books, and I have read 1,000 books in my life. I read 100 in 2024. I'm planning to read all the books in my save list. I'm not gonna say how many they are, but they are about 400. But the secret to books, it's an invitation. Just like prayer is an invitation. It's an invitation because it is going to change your life. If you know that, you're going to be very content with your life. Rest assured. Anyway, so it's been 14 minutes. I've been talking for 14 minutes, which isn't such a bad thing. I hope everyone has a good day. God bless everyone. For me, I'm just going to continue praying. I'm a bit of an investor right now, so even though I am not an office worker, an office employee, I don't work the 9 to 5, I do have some assets. You know what I mean? I'm a published book author, someone who loves God. So that's a quick update. And I do love my parents so much. If you take anything away from this lengthy video, I just want you to say I love you to your parents as well, because sometimes that's all it takes. Someone to remind you, someone to guide you. You know what I mean? So, hope everyone has a good day. Take a lot of pictures with your parents. Make them laugh. Make them smile. And, you know what? One day, you're gonna thank yourself for that.